Ladies and gentlemen, the bot isn't working. Oh no, the bot is working. We're cool. Everything's cool. Tropical freeze. So I'm gonna say this right here, so I'm either proven right or I have egg on my face. I'm just gonna commit to this. I have played this game twice. I have like 50% of it once and 100% of it a second time. I used to play this game while I was exercising because playing it on the Switch, you could just do this, right? And just be like, yeah, that's cool. Um, I loved playing video games while exercising, by the way. I did. I did. Yeah, no, this is top five platformer territory, right? Right? Here's the weird thing. If you are familiar with platformers, you've probably heard about this game. There's a decent chance you've played it, and there's a near total certainty you've heard good things about it. But when it came out, it kind of bombed. It's not like it did particularly badly, but it certainly didn't sell as absolutely insanely well as Donkey Kong Country Returns did. Now, if you're looking at that, that's like, that doesn't make sense. Actually, if you think about it, it completely does. First of all, the Wii was one of those money printing machines, of which Nintendo has had several in their career. So the DS, the N64, and the Switch, as well as some of the older ones, obviously. NES and SNES both obviously printed money. But the point being, you could just about any game get something that nowadays we refer to as the Switch bump, right? Well, there was a Wii bump before there was the Switch bump, so of course Returns sold extremely well. And the Wii U didn't. I've defended the Wii U for years because it's got a decent controller, a decent overall setup, and has some extremely awesome games on it. But it didn't sell very well. And so it didn't have the kind of mass appeal and broad exposure that a lot of Wii games did. So this game didn't sell as well. Now, it still sold well, obviously, and it kept retro alive. And then they did their Switch release for it, and the Switch re-release sold more than the Wii U version. Um, that's the version we'll be playing, by the way. But yeah, but I wanted to comment on two other things. The first thing I find fascinating is that this game had a lot less influence from Miyamoto. Now, I have and always will continue to give praise to Miyamoto for being someone who's a very good idea person and who is absolutely laser focused on gameplay. However, he is also extraordinarily fixated on gimmicks, often to the detriment of the game itself. There really was no gimmick for Tropical Freeze, even on the Wii U. The closest you had was the menu on the pad. That's it. It was just a platformer. Returns had the waggle, right? And a couple other things, but the waggle was the big thing. The other thing I wanted to comment on, and I'm going to once again put my stamp on this, so if I'm wrong, I am legendarily wrong here. By memory, this is an excellent example of expansion effect. The Retro team had never made a platformer before. In fact, if you pay attention to the website, I actually gave Returns the first game tag because I think it deserves it. This is them having figured out how to make a platformer and then making a platformer, if you understand the distinction. Like, if you were there for the Returns run, if you watched some of the stages, you could tell where there's a stage that was just kind of filler. Even some of the harder stages, even some of the stages that looked like there's some design to them, kind of didn't have it. There were large stretches of just, and here's the same type of obstacle over and over again, padding out the runtime. And of course, Returns was crunched to hell and back. By contrast, this game was made slowly over the course of 4 years, or sorry, 3 years. Yeah. Also has a better story by memory. I mean, Retro are really good at environmental storytelling. Again, the primes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with repeated mechanics if you do them right. Oh yeah, one last little tidbit. Ignore that. Um, the other thing this game did was it brought back David Wise for the soundtrack. Now, he didn't work alone. I wanted to get his name down, and of course I forgot to write it down because I have no brain. Here it is. So the primary composer of Returns was a guy you're not gonna give me the name. You're just not giving me the name. It's not. Hold on. Hang on. I don't like messing up Japanese names. So give me a second here, please. Tropical Freeze also has a lot of original music, as opposed to basically just being remixes like it was in Returns. I can't find the name of the guy. One of the major composers of Returns obviously worked on this game as well. I'm not sure which one it is. This game has like 5 composers. But he was specifically someone who's trying to do the best he could to emulate David Wise's music from the old day. And then they brought David Wise in. So you've got David Wise, the guy trying to work on David Wise's style, making the soundtrack of this game. I think you'll like the soundtrack. So we're going to start on funky mode, just in case we actually feel like we need that, because this game can be absolutely brutal. The only thing it does, so in funky mode, Funky Kong is playable, and all the other Kongs have 1 additional health. Items cost less, some items are better. You can take 5 items in a level and set your items in the middle of a level. Any Kong letters you collect are saved when you complete a level, even if you haven't collected them all. That's actually him, Kenji Yamamoto. That is exactly what I was thinking of. And I just want to point that out, because that is awesome difficulty options right there. And you'll notice it's also removal of frustration options while we're on the subject. Yeah, that is a huge quality of life update. This did not exist in the Wii U version. That would be great, Torchinator. I agree completely. It actually is a continuous point of frustration for me that games do not allow you to set difficulty options individually. So, we're going to play as Donkey, obviously. Oh, it actually tells you. Yeah, so Donkey hits hard. Funky. So, Funky is all of the other Kongs combined. That's not actually a joke. He has more health. He doesn't take damage on spikes, like Cranky. He's got the double jump, like Dixie. He's got the slow, like Diddy. And he's got the roll and corkscrew, like Donkey. He also has infinite breath. This is the other easy mode. That's a little too easy. So, opening cutscene. My niece likes to play as Funky when we're playing 2-player. Yes, that's right. This game is so damn good. Me and my niece have played this co-op. And if you understand why that's weird, I should mention that this game is absolutely balls to the wall hard. She is not good at games, no. So, quick showcasing of her characters. Oh no, we lost a life. So these are the Snowmads. And there's Chill Pangolin. There's the only boring character in the game. I love the theme of the Snowmads. Donkey is 1 year old right now. You think that's anime? Check this out. Of course their giant longboat flies. So, awesome intro, right? Establishment, silly, kind of cool, great music. So, I actually replayed this level a little bit, so a lot of my comments on this level are a little bit pre-planned. Forgive me. The level of detail is so much higher in Tropical Freeze. Probably at least in part because it's on the frickin' Wii U. Like, Donkey actually has fur now instead of plastic. So, we talk about framing, right? We're going to talk about this a lot on this stage. Foliage, vines, jet we showed up on. You see that in the distance? There's the island we just came from. Wonderful shot here. But then they do something really smart. Check this out. So even someone who's never played a platformer before... yes, it did, J. Palmer. Big, obvious, bright yellow bananas. Right there. Water gushing right down here. No other obvious way to go. No matter what, you're going to go down this. And when you do, you end up underwater. Because this is a new feature. Full underwater sections. I love how smoothly they introduce that. Just boop. And they do it in such a way that you're basically encouraged, almost mandated, to end up underwater, no matter what you do. And yeah, swimming in here, it is different than just walking around in the air, but it is actual proper swimming. And you've got that, which is an attack in addition to going faster. Fun fact, each Kong actually moves a little bit differently underwater, such that some speedrunners prefer one or the other, based on their own preferences and their routes. Notice substantially increased detail in the background. We'll see a lot of that as we go forward as well. Yeah, the breath meter, we'll get to that. So... what is with this grasshopper? Seriously, dude. Chill. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some players don't even notice the breath meter. Which doesn't exist if you're playing as Funky. Huh. So I can clearly see up there. I can see there's a thing up there. I can see there's a coin up there. I can see there's a swinging thing up there. But how do I get up there? There's even a plant thing up there. Oh, well, I'm just going to move past it. And now we know how to do these things. Now our eye is drawn to the fact that we can stand on some of these moving platforms like this. Again, it's little stuff like this, but this is a pretty good 1-1. By the way, I'm going to be really positive about this game. Speaking of being positive about this game, obviously there's that. But, like, how progress? And yeah, we have the Ninja Gaiden respawns. I'm not sure if it's an issue in this one. We'll have to pay attention to that, because usually it is. Oh, how do I make it? How do I make it? It's okay, so... by mandating, you have to pull that thing in order... You notice that the tutorial goes away once you grab it, by the way. So, by mandating you have to pull that thing, now our eye knows to watch for those little nubs to grab. Now that we're looking for them, we can start to see them all over the place. And then they give us a bonus, a reward for successfully having figured out the tutorial. I know that sounds like a simple thing, But rewarding your players for paying attention is something a lot of devs don't know how to do, in my experience. Obviously, in some cases, it's helpful to let the players progress for having paid attention, but you do need to give those little boosts of, you did a good. I know that sounds so basic, but it's something an extraordinary amount of developers forget, is that there needs to be a, you did a good moment for a lot of things. Speaking of... So there's Diddy. I mean, it's possible they do it poorly. I would say more accurately that they just don't do it at all. No, we know what game journalist difficulty is like. If I ever reach the point of needing game journalism difficulty, I need to immediately stop playing video games. Because I have no business playing them anymore. And back into the water. So that was actually... Sorry, I just raced by that. Another bit of tutorialization. We've seen this whole time we could stomp in order to get those things. They put a thing on this thing, and I mentioned this because if you jump here, it doesn't do the bounce. Like, at a glance, a lot of players would look at this and think, aha, this is something you jump on, and this is what allows you to get more height, right? But instead you do this in order to get the item, and that's what actually launches you, and now you know how they work. Grab that while we're here. I love the music change, by the way. Very dynamic. It's not actually Yoshi drums. This is just straight up dynamic music. Whoops. Does games journalism difficult have any value? I actually am in favor of easy mode, agile mode, whatever you want to call that. Always have been. But let's be clear. Games journalism difficulty is just an insult. And that's pretty much its point and purpose, is to insult. So how strong is Donkey? Well... Yeah, exactly. LFR, easy mode, those aren't games journalist difficulty. Games journalist difficulty is way lower than that. Notice you get 2 shots to get the 2 items on that particular ring. Notice you also get rewarded no matter what you do. You'll always get at least bananas. So you see how this camera is moving a whole lot more? This is one of the biggest hardware changes they made when they switched over to the Wii U. Was they... I didn't mean to hit that. Sorry. This is one of the biggest changes when they went to the Wii U. It was the biggest hardware change they made. Was they invented a completely new camera system. So even though this is the same engine, the camera is fundamentally different at its core. In fact, a lot of people suspect that this same camera system is what they'll use in Prime 4. So they can do way more with the camera. Obviously, you see those kind of pre-baked things like you just saw. That was static. But later on, you'll actually start to see dynamic camera changes based on what's happening at a specific level or a specific boss fight. Can I help you? Also notice that, as per most 1-1s, the music is light, silly, happy. You're in Easy Land. And the game is making it clear. This is your tutorial. This is figured out zone. Oh, okay, fine. Do it the easy way. Look. Poultry's delicious. What's your issue? I'm just saying. No. No, my bananas. Bananas. Single screen. If this game has online co-op, I do not know about it. Please feel free to double check me on that. I would love for this game to have online co-op. But yeah, that dynamic camera is on display again when it comes to the co-op mode. Nintendo games with excellent co-op tend to be allergic to having online co-op. 3D World was a rare exception. And let me tell you, playing 3D World online was actually really awesome. Sonic, I need you to get online immediately. It's 2025, come on. We've had online for the last 30 years, let's go. Listen, if there's one thing we know about Nintendo, it's that they make some of the most fun games in the world, and they're extremely anti-fun. That sounds like a meme. Maybe a joke. But that's just the truth. Oh yeah, so, you're probably wondering what I did accidentally earlier. It does that. So we have a screen clear now. Wow, I'm actually missing puzzle pieces. I thought I was being thorough. Still missing a puzzle piece, but whatever. Yeah, I didn't remember that was there, to be quite honest with you. Hey, Reptile's Blade. Now, hang on. I need to write down Pancake's thing for Dragon Age 4, I think it was. Pretty sure I saw that. Pancakes, if you're still there. Confirm, deny. Alright, hang on. So I need to write down camera. I need to write down controls. Oh, I already wrote down controls. Yeah, notice we also started... This is such a common visual. You ever wonder why Grassland is almost always the first world or stage in a huge number of games? It's because it's the safe area. It's the place that looks peaceful and calm and normal, and it's like, ah. Same thing here. Just a nice, silly beach, water lapping against the shores. Nice green, you know. Oh, I hate this game. I hate all platformers. Giant destroyed plane, you know. We'll talk to the space shuttle in just a second. We're currently playing this on the Switch too, but this is the Switch version of the game. Hang on, if I just unlocked this now? I have! I'm not going to do this whole thing, I just want to see if this is exactly what I think it is. Which it looks like it is. By the way, in this game, something I'll actually... So, you remember how over in Celeste, you don't lose momentum on jumping? That's also true in this game. So most speedrunners prefer Cranky, who we haven't even shown off yet. Because he can just go for days, and the speeds he can get up to is absolutely crazy. Having said that, the one you'll probably see us play most as during this particular playthrough is actually Dixie. For reasons that'll be obvious as soon as we get her as well. It's funny you say that. Remember that for later, Wolverine. Notice that hovering instantly kills your momentum, by the way. Look at that. The moment you hover, it's like, nope. Should have stopped for that, whatever. No! I'm not even gonna get bronze, holy crap. Yeah, this is Retro really putting out their best. I'm glad this game got ported to the Switch, because it was a damn shame that it did not sell as well as it deserved to on the Wii U. Through no fault of its own, really. Anyways, yeah. I said I wasn't going to do the whole stage. Apparently I'm a liar. But you see in the upper left, there's your current time, there's your current medal score, whether you've gotten all the puzzle pieces, and whether you've gotten all the con letters. Quick and easy. Oh yeah, this sold well. Pretty much every game on the Switch sold well. And yeah, there's our levels, and there's which letters we got exactly, and which stages, and you get the ideas. We can also access the extras from here rather than having to leave the entire screen, which is kind of nice. Anyways. Why did it so well? The Wii U. That really is the reason. Like, oftentimes there's 3, 4, 5 different categories of reasons why. No. It didn't sell well because this was on the Wii U. What is World 1? Could someone do me a weird favor and Google what the name is of World 1? Each of the islands has a name. I don't remember what it's called. Why does my sound weird all of a sudden? Lost Mangroves. Thank you. Why is my sound weird? Anyways, here's the return of the grass. I mean, yeah, the Wii U slump was a real phenomenon, just like the Switch bump was. Honestly, I would say the only other consoles that I've ever had... So, there's plenty of consoles that have a such-and-such bump, right? That goes back to the NES era. But I'd say the only other two consoles that come close to the Switch in terms of quantity, in terms of how much it affects it, would be the PlayStation 2 and the DS. So this is Dixie. She has this. So you have really good horizontal, and you have a bit of vertical to play with. Dixie, and I'm just going to say this as nice as I can, is objectively superior to Diddy Kong in this game. She's also a bit of easy mode, so I don't blame some players for not wanting to play her just because of that. I don't care. I think she's fun. No, I think the Wii U taught the Nintendo the value of marketing. Aw. Why is my audio weird? It's throwing me. Like, it's really throwing me. Cranky is my actual favorite. But if I'm doing a hard stage, I'm probably going to pull out Dixie, because it's a hard stage and I need the person I'm going to win with. You know? Pretty much, Blade Jabal. As for slump, oh, we've had several slumps. The Vita is probably one of the biggest slumps out there. Not counting, you know, the old consoles that nobody's ever even heard of anymore. Nobody remembers the Jaguar. Don't lie to me. Yeah, the 3DO, the Lynx. Nobody's heard of these things. Don't lie. The N-Gage. Oh my god, the N-Gage. I mean, video game ads used to be pretty weird. Oh gosh. So this is funny. I was just about to say, I'll never forget the ad for, and I couldn't remember what it was an ad for. I just remember the ad itself. I suppose the ad did not do its job. Could be worse. Could be N-Force's NVIDIA thing. Anyways, what the ad was there was this loser kid who was a geek who was a loser because he did the wrong thing. I don't remember what it was, like I said. But then he switched to the right thing, whatever it was they were advertising. And all of a sudden, all the girls were like, oh, he's so sexy. And all of the kids who had been bullying him were like, oh my god, you're so much better than us. Would you like us to do your homework for you? And I understand you're looking at this like, that just sounds like every ad ever, but no, for real, it was so over the top. No, this is during the 90s. I don't know if Axe existed back then. It's a weird sentence of the day for you. can't remember what it was actually advertising. Yeah, I was a gamer who liked Star Trek, who was good with spreadsheets and math, and computers. Most of my friends were girls, too. Yeah, you still have that, right, Who Girl? So you want to hold on to that, Jesus. Oh man, the Majora's Mask ads were wild. If you've never seen those, I think some of them are still on YouTube. Like one of them was done like an old radio broadcast, and he was talking about how, you know, it's the end of the world and we're not sure if we're gonna make it. We're pulling for you, kid. All our hopes rest with you, and it's just like, oh my god. I mean, I know most games are about the end of the world, or stopping the end of the world, but Jesus, Majora's Mask. Found the other part of the plane. Oh god, I remember the Brooklyn Mog. Next! That sucks. I'm sorry, good girl. I mean, all the 90s ads were strange. They like to emphasize gross, sex, and I'm gonna go with tood to define the other one. Like some of the Sonic ads were just, what? Tood as an attitude. Like, hang on, just really quick. 90s video game ads. This game sucks. So. Okay, here's a good one. Oh my god. Okay, so I wasn't a Sonic kid. So I don't know what the clutch was. Does anyone know what the power clutch was? First thing that came up when I looked for 90s video game ads was for the Sonic, for the Sega power clutch. And it's this kid who, thank you. Ah! It's this kid. Just hang on. I'll try to get this on camera. This is insanity. Okay, here we go. Perfect. No, this isn't it. But you get to look at this for a second while I find it. It's still true. I'm just saying it's still true. Okay, here it is. Ahem. Look at this. Look at this ad. Adjustable turbo control for each button means maximum power at your fingertips. Slow motion control buys you time to get out of those tight spots. Compact size puts performance power in your hands. Any questions? Call this number. And look at the kid. Look at the controller. Look. He's Two-Face. This controller turned him into Two-Face. It's the ultimate joystick for Sega Genesis. He's turning into the Terminator. Or Mad Max, I guess, might also be appropriate. Also, that looks like a terrible controller. No, I'm going to be serious for a second. That looks like a terrible controller. First of all, this is the shape of it. But the buttons are up here. So if you're holding it from the bottom, your thumb cannot reach the buttons. Yeah, you'd have to play it like an arcade stick or an arcade. God, what are those called? You know what I'm talking about. You'd have to play it like that because, or yeah, the fight pad or whatever, yeah, like that. Because that's just awful. Okay, speaking of, I loved Sega ads because they're so terrible. No offense to Sega, I'm not trying to bash Genesis. I know we talked about that earlier. But, like, look at this for a second. Hang on. This is great. This is great. We were talking about misleading adverts earlier, right? Rating them good. No. There we go. Look at how incredibly misleading this is. It's not even close. The massive Sega Genesis library is an insane lineup of more than 150 titles, compared to ... Well, you get the picture. But we're not just talking numbers here. Genesis is going off with unreal new games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Spider-Man, Toe Jam and Earl, Golden Axe 2, and Joe Montana 2, Sports Talk Football. Any one of these would be enough to blister your thumbs for weeks. So for the best selection of arcade games, action-adventure, role-playing games, sports, you name it, check out the Genesis library. Nothing else. Yeah, so hang on. So what do we got here? Golden Axe, Pac-Mania, Outrun. Oh, that's blurry as hell. Spider-Man, Streets of Rage, Sonic. Hang on. If there's any dupes, I think they hid them pretty well. Meanwhile, the SNES has SimCity, which, by the way, was a launch title for the SNES. That's how old that is. Pilot Wings. Oh my god, it's just the launch games, isn't it? It's just the launch games for the SNES. That's what it is. That is hysterical. Yeah, that's Pilot Wings on the bottom, actually. The top one is the not Ace Combat. I forget what it's called. No, the SNES had a tiny library. Minuscule, one might even say. I love these old ads. They're so... Even back then, I knew they were terrible. But I've been picking on Genesis. Hang on. Let me pick on Nintendo for a second. How many of you remember how hilariously sex-oriented the Game Boy ads were? Hang on, let me resize this. That's a little bit too big. There we go. The new Game Boy Pocket. Seriously distracting. They were all like that too. Like that was not the only Game Boy ad like that. Graphics so real you'll forget it's a game. That's an ad for the Game Boy. You know, the controller we all said, or the console we all said was, you know, 4-bit. Hang on. Here's another Game Boy one. I think. Oh, actually, it's not Game Boy. It's even worse. Oh my god, hang on, hang on. Check this out. The name of this company is STD Entertainment. With STD's mega-enhancing accessory for Game Boy and Game Gear, you'll be equipped to master the action in any situation. When you add the Handy Boy to your Game Boy, you'll get full-blown stereo sound, a powerful light, 150% screen magnification, a joystick for ultimate control, enlarged fire buttons, and true on-the-go portability from this boy's carrying strap and fold-up designs. When you slide your Game Gear into the Handy Gear, you get a massive 150% screen magnification, screen shield to kill the glare, powerful water-resistant and shock-absorbent case for protection from all sorts of shocks and spills, convenient storage shed for carrying extra game cart, and a carrying strap so you can really get around. But look at the picture they decided to show for this. This kid is on drugs. Also, and I don't want to be the one to point this out, they picked a woman who is rather well endowed for this picture. And they probably did that on purpose. Oh yeah, blue and red contrast, gotta have that. Oh, I wish Mr. Red was here. I could. Oh no, Mr. Red is here. Mr. Red. This one's for you. This one's for you. You ready for this? You ready for this? Hang on. Resizing. Spyro played here. The best part, it's for the GBA Spyro. Look at this. Yeah, I haven't even gotten into, like, the Sony ads. PlayStation 1 had some truly terrible ads, too. I'm not going to show you that ad. I'm going to describe it to you. It's for a PlayStation 2 controller. It's a picture of a man who is laying down as if he's giving birth, only dressed in the cloth covering his private parts. And there's an umbilical cord coming out of his butt, I assume. And there's a doctor there holding the umbilical cord up to the controller they're trying to sell. And the tagline is, "Time to cut the cord." I swear I'm not making that up. Okay, one more, then I'll let it go. And actually play the game I want to play today. So I mentioned how weirdly sex-oriented the Game Boy ads were. Keep it in your pants. Notice the discreet shot of the underwear. Gotta show the underwear line. Of course this person has Nintendo underwear. I can't even read that. What does that say? I can't read that. It's too low res. Look at that. Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll find a Power Glove ad. Just for you, Trithon. Here you go. You're almost assuredly talking about the Power Glove ad. Which is this one. Everything else is just child's play. I can't find a version of that that's large. I can actually read what the hell it says. Got the shades, got the blue lightning. Hang on. The Power Glove. You plug it in like any joystick, but the similarity stops there. Because now you don't just guide the action, you are the action. 3D sensors track the position of your hand, giving you free-flowing, instant response. It's a complete connection. Intense and powerful. Plus, the Power Glove has a unique programmable keypad that gives you amazing new ways to play almost every Nintendo game. There's actually like 5 of them. All your joystick games become different, more exciting, and with games specifically designed for the Power Glove, you'll be blown into another dimension. So look for the Power Glove when it hits stores this fall. Once you put it on, everything else becomes child's play. I could do this all day. I'm not gonna. I might go through a couple more of these in the future, though, because they're just so bad. They're so bad. Someone somewhere got paid real money to make these. I will say this, and I actually agree with what Ruthless Tim implied just now. I'd rather that than the ads we get nowadays, in several respects. I'm serious. I noticed, back in 2016, I could even point to the specific year, that, you know, television ads and what we now see as YouTube ads just kind of were wallpaper paste. Right? Just this giant vat of slightly sticky gray paste. There's nothing memorable about them. They're not even like zany or unique or interesting or memorable or memeable. They're just, yeah, there's an ad. Okay. And that's it. The only ads that are memorable nowadays are the insane ones. And they're only memorable because they're insane. We don't buy Old Spice. We just remember their ads. Anyways, I apologize to those of you on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you actually like that little diatribe, feel free to say, let's go with pork fritters in chat. And by chat, I mean YouTube. Anyways, this is Funkies. Long time no see. Oh, what a Funky's flying by. And don't tell me, I forgot your old pal Funky Kong. I'm here to help you on another epic adventure. So, you can buy lives. That prevents you from falling. That prevents you from, that refills your water. These are pure cosmetics and provide actually nothing whatsoever. Extra heart. It's a heart. You better not think about that too much, bro. I think that's the invincible stuff. That's the crash guard. That's help you find stuff. That's a barrel for Diddy, a barrel for Dixie, and a barrel for Cranky. Now, we have tons of coins, so I'm going to go and start buying some of these. Oh, hey, check it out. You can mass buy now. I don't know, Trithon. I'm not going to buy this right now. I'm going to buy at least one. And a Cranky one. And one of those. And one of those. I haven't... So, I never liked the Switch 1 Pro Controller. I have been told by multiple people that the Switch 2 Pro Controller is one of the best controllers ever made. Right. But I like being able to split my hands for ergonomic reasons. Having to do this is not comfortable for me, no matter how good the controller is. Whoops. So let's see if we can find it diegetically, shall we? Lord, you're misusing that word. Yeah, but I'm trying to sound smart. God! But for real, I have heard extremely good things about the Switch 2 Pro Controller. I doubt I'll ever pick one up, but you know. Is that it? That might have been it. I do like binding. Don't take that out of context. I'm not a Game Boy. My sound is still weird. Like your last time. I have pretty decently sized hands, too. So that might be... I don't know. I'm weird. But like I said, I like my hands to be split. That's really the big thing for me. If anybody sees it, feel free to say something. I legitimately don't remember where it is. To my knowledge, there's only one console out there that has a split controller, and it is the Switch. Oh, 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 oh. There she blows. So, bringing back a feature from the old Donkey Kong Country's multiple exits. Can I just say I prefer this? As opposed to what they did in Returns, where you buy a key in the shop and that unlocks another path. Like they're literally being level designed around finding another exit. Have we already seen it, Rax, or are you speculating? About the new controller, I mean. So, 1A. That's a good point. That should be entering. Why is that so quiet? Alright, hang on, hang on. It's starting to weird me out. Is the audio set weird? No. Oh yeah, I can just change characters here too. Lol. Adam Ciuta. Alright, I'm just gonna restart the game. Interesting. Jathan. Third party, but it is hoary, so it's probably not complete garbage. Hang on one second. I'm just gonna do something really quick here. Oh yeah, Mario Paint is on here now. I saw a whole YouTube video advertising Mario Paint. It was a weirdly good advert. I was so stranged by that. Hang on a second. Just something I know the audio for by memory. This is my niece's safe. I just remembered that. I helped her to find this area, and she was like, woo, and then she put the game down and never came back. But she was enjoying it. Okay, sound is perfectly fine. Alright, beat the entire game while crouching. Go. So the sound's fine. Look, speaking of someone who's actually put a Virtual Boy on my head before. Nah, I'm good, thanks. I know, Rex. I have actually used VR as well. I'm not doing that either. I just have bugged sound. What in the world? Can someone Google this? I've never encountered this before. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just throwing me, and it's going to get a negative. I'll go to the exact same stage. Wow. Okay, hang on. Change surround sound to automatic. Okay. Let's do that. Set that to stereo. Turn that off, I suppose. Turn that off, because I don't have 5.1. 5.1. And let's try that. Yes. There we go. Okay. I'm willing to call that a bug. I'm on the wrong save. What do you mean, Walker? I've only been streaming for like an hour. What are you talking about? Sorry about the second delay today. Which now the audio's bad. Hang on. That's actually my capture card, though. I know how to mess with that, and hopefully that'll fix it. Give me 1 second. Fixes it. If not, we can mess with it some more. Okay. This is not how physics works. For the curious. Give me your bananas, oh sentient banana fairies. These? No. That's right, there are banana fairies in this setting now. A little loud now. Is that just me? I'm gonna turn that down too. I don't like turning down the music, but like it sounds weird. You can do it right now, Walker. I'm really malleable about that. I prefer you not do it all the time, because each time you do that is a fairly large amount of paperwork for me. But if you say, I don't want to fund Hello Kitty's bedtime adventures anymore, that's your call, not mine. Having said that, I guess in the interest of total honesty, there is a line after which I will no longer let you reallocate your funding. And that is after a game has been funded. Once the game's funded, it's locked in. No refunds. Unless you really need a refund. In which case you get a refund. But for real, no refunds. No, come back, Banana Fairy. No, Banana Fairy. while trying to do platforming. Okay, Walker. That works for me. If you could tell me that on Discord, say in the feedback or the trades channel, that'd be awesome. If not, if that's too much of a hassle, just tell me now and I'll try to memorize it while doing platform. I got this. Hypothetically, yes. If you wanted to game the system, you could, for example, donate towards Hello Kitty Adventure, Hello Kitty Island Town, and Ultra Death Doom Gore Factor 5000. Then later you could say, you know, I want to reallocate the money from the 2 Hello Kitty games to Ultra Gore Death 5000. At which point you would be officially gaming the system. Please don't do that. I mean, it's whatever, Walker. There's something up there. Yeah, Rule 0 always applies for a reason. At that point, you're kind of just being a dick. Yes, please don't ruin it for everyone else and force me to actually start putting my foot down. I don't think anybody actually wants that to be a thing, including me. Don't be that guy who makes it so that there's no longer free donuts in the break room. Real example, actually. Like what, Rain 36? I mean, generally, no, but it kind of depends. Oh, no, that's a real example. One of the places I used to work at, we used to have free donuts every, I think it was Friday. And then, you know, one dude kept stealing all the frickin' donuts. And so we stopped getting free donuts. Thanks, Bob. I'm not using his real name. Not that it matters at this point. No, banana, banana! You want to hear something funny, Mr. Red? The longest time, I didn't even realize that was supposed to be a catchphrase. I just figured it was bad writing. Which, I mean, it is, but you know what I mean. I didn't recognize it was deliberately bad writing. So, tell you what, Rain 36. Here's the dealio. The NES block is obviously the NES. It's a bunch of NES games, but it's kind of misleadingly named. It's the this is Lore's old collection of NES games that he actually owned from when he was a kid and wants to go and review all of them so he could say he did it. Block. I was trying to come up with a slightly more efficient way of saying that. Actually, the SNES block is the exact same thing. This is why there are several NES games and SNES games not a part of either block. So you want to add Solstice, that's cool. I'm down. But, like, I'd kind of rather it not be part of the block, if that makes any sense. Now, everything else, case by case. Pretty much everything is case by case with me. Memory lane block. I mean, it's not really about the memories, I guess. I mean, it kind of is. How bad were all these games? Because they're not games I remember fondly, they're just games that I owned. for various reasons. I mean, we're reviewing Burger Time, for God's sakes. Burger Time. So. Because sometime in the 90s, I'm actually not sure when exactly, it would have been right about when Mega Man 3 was new. I know, Mr. Red. Nobody in the world would have caught that except for me, I swear. Anyways. My beloved grandmother, who was one of my only sources of video games that wasn't myself, just buying them for myself, bought me 2 video games that year. One was Mega Man 3, and the other was Burger Time. I've always wondered why exactly. Like, I figured it was one of those, either she saw something in the store and was like, he'll like that, or she was talked into it by a sales rep kind of a situation. I'm not complaining. I got Mega Man 3 out of it. So, Cranky Kong. I feel like we just played this game a few days ago. So, you can do ludicrous stuff with Cranky Kong. He is arguably the strongest character. If you know, highest skill ceiling might be a better way to put that. He requires more inputs than anybody else to really be effective. But he does not lose momentum when bouncing, and he can bounce very high, as you can see. Like I said, he's probably my overall favorite to play as, even though, like, Dixie is just kind of better for some things. Thank you, Walker. Almost. That's just unfair. Oh, sorry, right. So, also, he can bounce on spikes, just like in DuckTales. They've never, to my knowledge, flat out said this is inspired by DuckTales, but this is inspired by DuckTales. In fact, for a little bit of trivia, this game came out 1 year after the DuckTales remaster did. There's more audio design to the enemies too. Thank you, Grumbacha. Appreciate you. Whoop. I do like how there's a thing here so you can go through even if you're not playing as Cranky, by the way. Which is good. If they locked you into Cranky here, that would be awful. But you'll notice this entire section is designed to be like, here's how Cranky plays. Spikes everywhere and tall jumps everywhere. Also, a lot of machinery. Look, they need to make sure everything stays water, okay? I don't remember why, but I do know that Crazy Norse is playing Persona 5 Royal. You've been ousted, Crazy Norse. That's what you're doing instead of watching me. Which, okay, fair enough. I'll give you that. I have a dumb question, because I meant to write something down. Does anyone remember which level I first got Dixie Kong on? Because it wasn't 1-1. Better have been a really good dinner, Bragman. Which, considering you're making it, it probably is. So water better be wet, Bragman. Well, there's going to be hell to pay. Yeah, notice we're getting more industrial as we go. I'd say points if you recognize it, but I'm pretty sure everyone watching this stream knows where the song comes from. I even played it earlier. Yeah, there's something I call visual continuity. I first thought of it when it came to the Kingdom Hearts series, but then I noticed it was really common in Mega Man games as well. It's when there's a clear continuity in the visuals of how you move through a world, right? So as you're going through Wily's castle, you could see going up the wall, and you could see going into it, and you could see going down to the depths, etc., etc., right? Tropical Freeze loves visual continuity. Yeah, Crash did that. Mega Man does that. Mario usually doesn't. It's actually one of the weaker parts of Mario. Mario games tend to have just whatever, right? Here's a clown level, here's a desert level, here's a bomb level, back to back. Honestly, Mario 3 was one of the last really great visual continuity Mario games. Until you get to, like, Odyssey. And Wonder. Yeah, that was literally the title screen song from Donkey Kong Country, the original. What's this place called again? Lost Mangroves. Now, 1 second. I think it was 1-2. I apologize, I just want to do my due diligence on something. Please forgive me. You don't have to. Fun off-topic commentary here. Someone did some tests on exactly what is the fastest way to load a game on the Switch 2. The answer ended up being, by a small margin, having the game downloaded on the game's... It's right here. On the game's internal hard drive. Right behind it, by only a couple of seconds, was having it on the SD card, which makes the slowest way to load a game by far on the Switch 2 actually having the physical cartridge. Go figure. I mean, it makes sense that, like, that's logical just from a physical hardware perspective. You know, I'm not sure what the internal SSD is on the Switch 2. Ooh, excuse me. That's a good question. Why don't we go check that right now? Storage. There we go. So it starts off with 200 something, and then you can get your own micro SD on there if you want. As you can see, I've put almost everything onto my micro SD because I got a 250 and just plunked it in there. If you're, by the way, quick thing, make sure you're getting a micro SD E card. It only takes micro SD E cards. There's much fewer of them, they're different tech, and they tend to be smaller. Just as a heads up. So as recently as this year, literally, they have been working on new versions of micro SD E cards that go up to, I believe, 500. Yeah, right now 250 is the cap, or at least when I bought mine, which was like a month ago, 250 was the cap. It's still a developing tech, is what I'm trying to get at here. Oh, 250 is honestly plenty. I'm just greedy. I like having everything installed at the same time. Unless it's something I'm basically never going to play again. What in the world? Now Gary's playing Sonic Frontiers. He's played all kinds of games. Oh my god, Gary has played Sonic Frontiers before I have. I am ashamed. Okay, stop screwing around, Mark. We'll see. There was a little bit, by which I mean a lot, of pushback to their recent survey, because an inordinate number of people said they wanted physical copies of games. And that makes sense. I actually am one of those people. There are a few games I prefer digital, but for very specific reasons. By and large, almost all of my games I have a physical copy of, because that's what I freaking want. They might think, why, Laura? What's the benefit? Well, there's a couple of benefits. Obviously, you know, it's kind of a bit of future-proofing in terms of the fact that I have a physical copy of the cartridge that is mine forever, screw you. But it's also a bit of future-proofing in another way. I have SNES games, not here, in storage, that I bought 30 years ago. And most of them still work. You get me? If it's a game I really like, I'll double up 2 racks. Like the Mega Man collection. Or, the Pixel remasters of the Final Fantasies I purchased. I got a physical of that, and then I also have the digital. There's a couple. I do that with a couple, but it's actually kind of rare for me. I'm not that made of money. Jeez, Cranky. Oh, hey, it's our first silhouette level. You'll notice the silhouette levels are even better than they already were. First of all, we actually have color distinction on Frankie's beard there. Second of all, there is actually some shading and depth to it, not just silhouette, which I know sounds like it diminishes the point, but actually, considering that's the background, it helps the background, that is to say, the foreground, pop even more. So now we have this kind of a thing. This is a concept that goes all the way back to Mario World, but it's a really great idea, legitimately. Which power-up do you want? Which backup character do you want? Pick and choose. Do you want more challenge? Do you want this specific thing for this specific level? Do you want this because you enjoyed playing as it more? Doesn't matter. Choice is yours. Do whatever you want with it. Yeah, there were quite a few levels in the original game, Returns, that did not get positives, and quite a few that got negatives. I cannot think of any level in Tropical Freeze by memory that will get a negative. Well, no, that's not true. Any level that isn't a con level, that'll get a negative. Con levels can still go to hell. What is this music? Not a complaint, I'm just, what is this music? Funk. I like that answer. Totally make that. Come back, Banana Fairy. Physics. Thought I saw something? Nope. Okay, we're good. So many crashed planes here. What is this, a cargo cult situation? I mean, you know what, fair. The moment Donkey punched the moon out of orbit, I think we kind of peaked. I almost put off this run. Can anyone guess why? Before I tell you. Yeah, exactly, Mook. This is such a smile-inducing game. Sorry, what I meant to say is con! God, that's brilliant design. Do you notice the very specific placement of the enemy? So that even if you don't have the reflexes to pull that jump, you bounce right off it and go into safety. Oh, shoot. Yes, the new house gets the wonderful block, is what we're going to call that. The big, beautiful block. I should start calling it that. I'm not going to do that. Oh. Biggest block ever. Nobody's ever done a block this big before in streaming history. I don't want to alarm you, Rax, but yes. Also, I think you're not a person anymore legally. So just as a kind of heads up on that. Yeah, we're just kind of destroying everything as we go through other islands. These aren't even our homes at this point. We're just... Yeah, sorry, Rax. Alright, No, Lunar Earth. I mean, it's not a block anymore, really, is it? It's just a bunch of games. Yes, it has become the awful cube. Okay. You should have duty for this level. No, I'm good. Thanks. So, first minecart level. Let's see how bad it is. It's a lot more dynamic, we can already see. However, have you noticed the biggest difference already? It's visible right on your screen. Did you see it? That should have given it away too if you didn't catch it. Notice it slows down just a little bit the first time you encounter those. Just so you have a little bit of time to react. Second time, it doesn't slow down. Just that first time. God, it's so smart. More HP. Or more accurately, we have HP at all. For those of you who don't remember Raiden Returns, it was Oka mode. So if you get hit, you die. Period. Also notice the camera is, well, is me dying. But the camera is a lot more dynamic. I've actually kind of already shown that off, but you're going to see more of that in a lot of these stages. Interestingly enough, this kind of spiral thing, you might think it's disorienting, but actually what it does practically is give you a bit of a sneak peek of what's coming up, so you can plan a little bit more for how you want to handle it. Nope, I screwed it up. I want my K, or G, or whatever that is. Whatever letter I'm up to. Looks like it is the G, I was right. What is with all this debris? Why are all these planes crashing on this place? Launch pad. Come on, brother. That's the second one, I think. Yep, right there. Got it. Everyone in chat. That's pathetic, Lore. Look, let me have my moment, okay? Not this moment. That will not keep you safe. But you know what will also not keep you safe? Anything whatsoever. So everything you just saw was actually a tutorial, by the way. These levels get so much meaner. But unlike the previous game, you know, it's actually a lot more fair difficulty as opposed to just trying to punch your teeth out constantly. I love this game so freaking much. Yeah, seriously, this is just Shipwreck Isle right here. Also, yes, I highly recommend picking up the soundtrack for this game if you haven't. So, one con. I do not promise to finish the Kong levels on camera. This is technically PFR territory. We're gonna at least give it a poke. So, unsafe vines, check. Small vines, check. Reflexes tests, check. Input bounces, temporary platforms, more input bounces. Accidentally screwing up your input because you're stupid. Notice how this is getting just worse and worse every screen we go in. That's right. We're escalating even how bad the vines are. This would be a great place for a checkpoint, but spoilers, no checkpoints. Whoops. I'm not sure how that happened, actually. That's my fault. I literally relaxed my hand and that let go of ZR. Yeah, no safety net now. Because now this starts happening. Clear. Oh, no. Yeah. They do at least give you a barrel right at the beginning. You can even choose who you take with you. Yeah, you only get one swing later on. So we've got swings plus limited space plus timing. hand for a second. Yeah, they do, Trithon. That is pretty much the point. Speaking of barely giving me enough time. And done? Nope, I'm wrong. No, that is done. I'm right. Now, that's mean. But if you're paying attention, that stage is why I say Tropical Freeze. That's like the perfect encapsulation of why Tropical Freeze is a better game than Returns. Because even though the Kong level is brutal, it is in fact arguably harder than the Kong levels back in Returns. It was fair. Exactly, our Spruce. Basic rules of level design. Introduction, escalation, conclusion. And that last section, which was the hardest part of the stage, was very much just, here's the stuff you've been doing the whole stage, but with much less time, and with much tighter jumps. And that's it. It also wasn't overly long. Yeah, no blind jumps, no gotchas. Now, I'm not saying every Kong stage is going to be like that. That one was solid. Yeah, that's pretty much your 1-1 for the K levels. So, boss 1. Oh yeah. Just real quick. I want you to hear this for just a second in an unadulterated environment. Okay, is that cool? This is the boss song of this game, or of this level. Oh, absolutely, our Spruce. You'll also notice there's a little bit of, like, kind of casual background lore to the Snowmads as a whole. They're not one species like the Tikis were. It's just a whole bunch of groups who kind of banded together for their own particular purposes. Like the sea lion and the penguins. I have played this song on my stream many times, and one of the most common questions I get is, "What's this from?" And then I say Donkey Kong, and nobody ever believes me. Yeah, I literally sent this song to Mr. Ed for his head-on mod, and he was like, "This isn't Donkey." I'm like, "No, seriously, this is Donkey Kong." Okay, but you know, what can I say? You notice that the penguins back there actually have seats? No, not you. You don't get a seat. Notice once again that wonderful, wonderful escalation concepts. Retro is so good at escalation. We'll talk about this whenever we get to the Prime series. By the way, there's a subtle thing I didn't notice until I played this on the Switch. Did you notice that there's a stage light at the top of the screen? It's even useful because it always points to where he is. So if you're wondering where he's going to pop out, it points in the direction where he is. So you can see where the fish are going to come from. I would love to know which composer made this song, honestly. Appreciate you, cat. No, I did not, Gumbo. Oh yeah, no, the more you think... Clearly a lot of thought was put into this game, and I always appreciate that. I know, okay. Yeah, one of the things I'm asked about often is, do I dislike reviewing games? Do I dislike going through games with a fine-tooth comb? And the answer is absolutely not. But the reason why most people usually ask that is it's like, oh, you're just taking all the fun out of the game. But in my experience, when you analyze, good gets better, right? When you really dig into why something is good, or great, or excellent, you can appreciate it even more, and you can enjoy it even more. They backed out of the contract. I don't know the wording of said contract to know how much we can go after them financially for that. That's, yeah. What's the name of the boss we just fought? That means I spent 3 hours this morning doing something for absolutely no good reason. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that now. It's true. No, I'm good. Sorry. That just that's right in the gut, right? That's right in the gut. It's a good thing I'm playing a really good game right now. World 2. Let's at least get a bite out of World 2. So World 1, jungle, right? So that's cool. World 2, I mean, it's right there in the name. Autumn. Yeah, no. Blade 12 is correct. Oh, I'm gonna just shut up. Just listen. Just listen. Look at this screen. Look at this. Listen to this. Oh, we're gonna destroy this place. Ah, if only Austria was real. What are they playing? Okay, I'm sorry to do this. I'm gonna restart the level really quick. It goes by so fast, but I want you to pay attention, okay? During the opening cutscene. Watch this opener, okay? Watch this. There's so much going on in such a fast order. Playing with the things, chopping the logs, cooking a banana on the fire. And then there's like 2 other things I couldn't even talk quickly enough to catch because it races by. It immediately establishes the idea and tone. It also continues to tell a greater background idea. The concept here, and we'll see this throughout the whole game, actually, is that the snowmets have already conquered most of these islands. Our island happens to be next. Look at this windmill. Look at that thing. Look at the background. Oh my god, this freaking game. Can I not? There we go. You see the village in the background right there? It's pretty much middle of the screen right now. Just, you know. That's true, Clash. You're right. They first introduced the owls here, and the mice, too. I suppose that makes sense. The first world was almost universally the penguins and, oh god. I guess that's it? I feel like there was something else. Listen, if I could do this with Dixie's hair, I would have that ponytail, too. I'm just saying. No judgment of me wanting that hair and dying. I really wanted those 2 bananas. Well, it was a peaceful place, and then we showed up for Thon. See, some people think, and this is not a joke, some people speculate on the greater lore of this game. And I know that sounds strange considering it's Donkey Kong, but hear me out for a second. We see, and we'll continue to see throughout the course of these games, that the snowmets move in, take over a place, and then just kind of establish a new regime. And then it's fine. Like, most of these places aren't doing badly. This is not some big oppressed region, right? Except Donkey's area. The actual Donkey Kong country itself, our island, is completely covered in snow and trashed. Why? What's so different about ours? Now, there's actually a few theories about that. But here's my theory. Francis was supposed to be King K. Rool. That's it. That's my theory in a nutshell. When they were storyboarding and mapping out how this game was going to go, that was the idea. And for whatever reason, they couldn't use King K. Rool. So they replaced him with generic Walrus Man. But him wanting to take revenge on the Kongs for everything that happened in the first 3 games suddenly makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? A secret brother? That could be. Most of these islands are much smaller than Donkey Kong's island. Because the Donkey Kong island itself is gargantuan. Multiple biomes gargantuan. Now I have sunlight in my eyes. Is that visible on camera? Mr. Sun has decided to grace me with his presence today. Yeah, exactly, Lo. Donkey's Island, the Kong Island, is more of a continent. Notice the enemy tutorializing how the bouncy panels work, by the way. On the off chance you don't know how those work. Why are we setting fire to the gondola as we're going down it? I love the Snowmads. I think they're the best villains we've had in the franchise, in my opinion. I know that's unpopular. I like the Kremlins too. But the Snowmads are awesome. It took me a while to figure out how to say it properly, because you see it written, and it just looks like they're mad about snow or something. It's weird, right? But they're nomads. Erotic power, we're walking. Oh shoot. Time section. Right. Time sections. It's okay. I was always Two-Face. I'll just move a bit. I'll move a bit. Yes. If I scooch forward. There we go. If I just get my face up against the screen. Okay, let's move back. That might work out. I'm the kid from the Sega ad. Yep, that's what it is. I got a hold of the terrible controller. I forgot it was gonna go away. I literally forgot. I was just not paying attention. Listen, your playstyle will get so much better once you buy these cheats. As a fresh reminder, buying cheats has always been a thing in video games. Just in different ways. Oh shoot, I was expecting there to be a platform there. Whoops. So that's my fault for looking at chat. I should never look at chat when I'm in the middle of a jumping sequence like that. Every time I do, I die. Every single time. Higher density of doodads, too. Hardball one. Well, that's worst of all worlds, but whatever, I'll live with that. Well, give me the protagonist, I'll give you the alignment. Because I'm like a little distracted right now, Mr. Red. One thing that is consistently true of each of the Snowmads things, they're all trying to get resources out of whatever conquered area it is. We'll showcase more of this later, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Right now this is just 1-1, or rather 2-1, so you don't really see that yet. Alright, back into the sunlight. Yes. Yeah, the Snowmads are very organized. Oh, I hear that all the time. I just assume that people are trying to break things down into something more relatable and digestible without actually understanding it. When I was younger, it irritated the hell out of me. Because I always assumed it was an insult. It's not. It can be, but it isn't automatically an insult. Yes to both, actually, Reptile's Blade. Look at those pumpkins. Look at the pumpkins. I love how the rabbits are the Germans, by the way. Or the Dutch, if you prefer. Aww. I mean, it's not incredibly inaccurate, so okay. Yeah, one of my co-op friends who's playing with me, Linda, has that as their primary transmog. Oh, come on, I'm right there. I know, I should probably just restart the stage. But I want to see if I can make it, which I can. Yeah, some of the Ramby stages in this game, by memory, are actually kind of mean. I mean, not really, Ruthless Tim. If you guys want me to play it, I'll play it, but I won't seek it out on my own. I have nothing against it, I'm just not super invested in it. After all, if I wanted to play Rastrobot, I'd play Mario Galaxy! I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Oh, hey, look. Look at all the time and effort and care it took to construct this bell and this little way station thing here. So, I'm sure that's part of the appeal, but I'm not really joking when I say that we're going to take this idyllic little, like, Austrian countryside and just destroy it. So, me and my friend were stuck on this section for some time. So this is timed, with collapsing platforms, and you do need to hurry for several parts of it. And if you're too slow, you run out of platforms to work on, and blah, 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 blah. You get it. It's a typical temporary safety net situation. You have a little bit of time, but the longer you take, the more likely it is you're going to fall into. I can't believe I just one-shot that. I swear that wasn't me trying to do a humble brag or whatever. Whatever that's called. I have vivid memories of us just being stuck on that. one I was worried about. And yes, we actually have honest-to-goodness Yoshi drums, which we didn't in the last game. Trithan, I'm sorry, we are the bad guys. You saw us basically genocide the Tikis, right? Have you seen the Tikis since we wiped them out? Oh, I missed a secret exit. I don't remember where the secret exit is. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, is that the K level? I was gonna say, I don't remember there being a secret exit here. Thank you for telling me. Here's the ruins of... Yeah, this is the one, the secret exit. No? Maybe the next one? Oh, God. I don't remember now. I do remember the stage, though. This is the blah stage. Everyone in chat, huh? It'll make more sense in a minute. You know how autumn this place is? The leaves can carry a grown gorilla as they slowly waft down from the trees. That's how autumn this is. Or maybe that's just how things are in the Netherlands. I don't know. That's because they literally were. I didn't come up with that. Blame Star Trek. Also more incorporating the level design into the music. They did that only once back in Returns with Music Madness. Now you're dead. I was gonna let you live. Out of all the millions of people I brutally, horrifically murdered. Now you're dead. Are these birch trees? Anyone know? I'm curious. Something a lot of fiction tends to forget, and I know this sounds like a strange sentence, is that there's multiple types of trees. You know what I mean, right? You get into a video game, you go to the forest, it's all pines. Every tree there is a pine tree. Or an oak tree, or whatever. That's even better, Cyclone. Too slow. Well, I just got Dixie killed. Sorry. In my defense, I suck. I mean, honestly, most games have the tree problem to some extent or another. Even games with generally good visuals tend to have the tree problem, because, you know, art assets take a while to make. You make a tree, you copy-paste it a few hundred times, you're good. There's your forest. So, my favorite part of the stage. Is that a dog? Goat. That makes more sense. Hello, Elizar. God, the pipes on the people who are blowing these horns. I don't think I have a favorite fruit, but the one that usually comes to my mind first is the watermelon. Love me some watermelon. Have a giant pile. I actually don't like bananas. I am, I think, partially allergic. So, I know a lot of you just kind of put me in the background and just kind of listen. If there is one stage I would recommend you actually watch, it is in fact this one. I love kiwi. Of course, I eat the rind. I eat the skin. Which I'm told is weird. So, autumn, rain, bonus thing, so I'm just going to grab really quick here. I'm just going to shut up and let this speak for itself. Because you probably think we're in for a water level, and you are wrong. This is the sawmill level. Have you noticed that the sawmills are carving out the wood trunks that we're actually going through as we're going through them? Hang on, it gets better. Notice the timing of the music. Not now, cat. I'm kind of concentrating. Oh, no, cat! Why? Why would you do this to me? Why? I have been betrayed. Now, this game sucks for us. I hate platformers so much. God, imagine this level of returns. So you notice we're in like a chunk of a tree, right? Also notice they tutorialize how to get that? Right before I fail at it. God, we're up to 90 lives already. We're gonna need them. I'm sorry, Adam, that I'm dying so much. I just told you to watch, and all you're watching is me dying over and over. I apologize. This is a good spectacle stage. So you have to jump over this, and that tutorializes going down. I don't understand why that's not jumping there. I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, die. Oh, that makes sense, Magistrate. So now I feel stupid. I apologize, everyone I made watch the stream. There we go. Check it out. Not only do you have health, there are health ups. Can you believe it? And one of my personal favorite little moments. Now we're on a minecart again. That's what the minecarts have been made of, is those tree logs we've been going through. Although we may be causing some damage to the sawmill. I love this so much. Now I'm gonna die, now that I'm praising it. Because that's how that works, right? You see what I mean, though? Everywhere's made productive. I love that stage. Well, I don't understand your question, Gumgo. But that is probably one of my favorite Minecraft levels, like in both games, in all 5 games. Creative, fun, fantastic, interesting, cool. You get it. Am I one of those people who count tomatoes as fruit? No. I have a wisdom score. Anyways, so that was 2-4. Which means we have to do it again. Don't worry, you have to watch. You don't have to watch this time. I feel bad enough about that last time. Is anyone actually legitimately hyped for GTA 6? Fuel, Shathan. I know what you're thinking. What does this plane run on? Cool. And he's all out of it. I don't remember where the optional exit is. Let's see if we can find it. I would be shocked if GTA 6 is not a good game. I don't think it's going to be a great game. I think they've lost too much. And I think it's going to be too designed to be GTA Online 2. So I am not looking forward to GTA 6. It'll be enough when we get there, and we'll have a decent enough time with it, but I'm not expecting it to be GTA 5, for example. Oh, not there. If GTA 6 is one of those games that's going to force an ID verification thing, then I'm going to go and veto it right now. Red Dead Redemption 2 was good. It was also the last game put forth by that team. Okay, that's what I thought. RDR 2, yeah, I liked RDR 1. I loved RDR 2. I was not expecting that. There it is. No, that's still not it. Yeah. Please not right now. I'm trying to pay attention. I don't even know where the secret exit is. I'm just looking. Nothing at the moment, Loke. Hopefully. If anybody sees the secret exit, feel free to say something. Please. I think that was it right there. I think that was actually it right there. I have no idea, Gum Gum. You'll have to ask him. I've never even heard of that, personally. So I think you're making it up, Gum Gum. J'accuse, as they say. My biggest worry about Rockstar Games can be referred to as 2K games. Because 2K games are basically a mafia. There's a reason I list them as the second worst of the big gaming publishers out there. I know that depends on what you're using as a metric, but screw them. Actually, after Tencent, I would put them above Ubisoft. That is to say, worse than Ubisoft. Alright, Cat, you've been very patient, and it is time for you to be fed. So here, let's get you dinner. So, getting you dinner. Yes. Yes. Opening these things. There we go. There we go. Enjoy. I mean, Ubisoft, at least, they finally finished their court cases against the upper executives who were being criminally charged for, you know, being terrible human beings. Who knows? Ubisoft might turn it around a little bit. And pigs might, in fact, finally learn how to fly. Who knows? 2K Games owns a lot of things, actually. They're a publisher. You notice I didn't say developer. God damn it, I keep doing that, too. I'm stupid. I need to go down. I need to go down. I need to go down. Yeah, Ubisoft is weird. I'd say they're French, but that doesn't actually cover it, really. Besides, French people are cool. Well, that's a good question, Loke. This is a terrible time to ask me a specific case file, though. I didn't know it was coming up. Yeah, Microprose was folded under 2K Games. They have a ton of sports games. Firaxis, a lot of strategy stuff is under the 2K label. Yep, Duke Nukem is under them. I don't remember if Gearbox is right now. They've got a bunch. They're not small. There we go. Looks like 3 years in jail? Just at a glance. I don't like to glance at this. I usually prefer to look at the actual court signs themselves, but blah 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 blah. No, I need the actual verdict. I know, it'd be nice if I could say it in English. Smash. 3 years in prison, 18 months in prison, and 12 months in prison, respectively. Along with a few dozen $1,000 worth of fines. And I guess that's actually it. I'm sorry. During the trial, defense lawyers insisted their clients had never received any disciplinary warnings from the company's human resources department. That's your defense? That's your defense. I didn't realize that sexually assaulting women was bad, and HR never said anything about it. Now, Ubisoft is going through some stuff right now. The Guillaumes, who are awful, by the way, if you're not familiar with them, they're old money to a T, are divesting themselves of Ubisoft. So, we'll see what happens as a result of that. Okay, so it does say how many I have. Buy a little bit of everything. Just to have them in the inventory. Buy some extra lives while we're here. I like multiples of 5. That should do it. So 2A. I'm not going to finish World 2 tonight, but I want to take at least a bite of it. Oh my god, it's so pretty. When I first got to this stage, I remember stopping dead and just looking at it, this screen for a minute. Take that in for a second. As I like to say for these kind of moments, what's your favorite detail? Oh, God, the art team crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. My favorite tiny little detail, I'm actually kind of blocking it, is the phase-on. It's not phase-on. The phase-on wafting off of the mushrooms. Also, I don't know what they're called. The pools where the rock has been worn down into like a saucer from the water pouring down into it. I can't. I'm sorry, Lenareth. I haven't done anything new in WoW yet. Yeah, exactly, Trithon. Imagine just coming here and just being like... Lunarith is on, I believe, the EU servers as a heads up, so you need to be also on EU servers to help her out with that. Oh, never mind, she's on NA. Ignore me. I am dumb and stupid. Wow. I never knew. Oh, I know the type oak. Look at this. The trickling down water informs level design too. Don't mistake me. I love games with pretty visuals. I do. There's a reason I have entire categories for visual storytelling in my review system. But something I like even more is when those visuals also inform the level design, or gameplay design, or boss design, or whatever, when it's part of the gameplay. That is a lot of cheese. That is like the size of a room. I mean, we're not sure exactly how big Donkey Kong is, but, like, if you've played Punch-Out on the Wii, he's pretty big. And as far as I'm concerned, that's probably his canonical height. Okay, so there's our target for the barrel. Now we know where we're taking it. Or we can just grab this guy. That works, too. Look at all this... Jeez. Sorry. That's the last time I'll make that reference, I swear. Nobody's gotten it anytime I've referenced it, so I give up on it. Not even the people on YouTube. Hey, our Spruce got it. That is a reference to Monterey Jack. Yes, that's his name. From Rescue Rangers, back from the Disney Afternoon Hour, whatever they call that. Which had several shows, including DuckTales, Tailspin, Rescue Rangers, and Darkwing Duck. You wonder where all that cheese came from in Resident Evil 5 and 6. I think we found the source. How good were those shows? They were better than cartoons were back in the day. Like, okay, you gotta understand. I was coming straight off of Hanna-Barbera's crap. No offense to anybody who likes Hanna-Barbera's crap. And I've talked extensively about how much Hanna-Barbera ruined animation. So I'm not going to repeat myself here. So, the pseudo-continuity, greater emphasis on voice acting and characterization, and an approach to something kind of coming close to storytelling was just unheard of at the time for me. Looney Tunes is different, and much older than a lot of people remember. Looney Tunes, point in fact, has, and I hesitate to use this word, objectively better animation than most of the Hanna-Barbera stuff. Probably because it was much more expensive. See, that's the thing Hanna-Barbera was known for, being cheap. That's how they mass-produced so much. They really, really templated a lot of what they did to the point where it was very, very cheap to produce. What? No, I want my letter. I mean, it kind of is, Mr. Red, yeah. If I could pick one of the old Disney platformers to get the DuckTales R treatment, which would I pick? Same question to the chat, for anybody who wants to jump on that. Just for perspective, we have Rescue Rangers 1 and 2, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales 2. Tailspin was a game, it wasn't great. If we're just limiting ourselves to the Disney platformers, we should probably discount Little Mermaid, but it was there too. And, let's see. There was also the Aladdin one, the Lion King one. I think that's kind of it, of the big ones. Ah, that's how I'm supposed to get it. Okay, I'll let myself die. Sorry, Dixie. Suicide pact. Don't you mean unalive pact? No, I don't. Allow me to be formally one of those curmudgeonly old misers who refuses to self-censor because YouTube has a couple of problems with a couple of words. Oh, just a second too early. I don't think so, Trithon, with regards to the water. Yeah. I've just noticed more and more that unalive or self-deletion have kind of entered common parlance, and I rarely push back against the fluidity of language, because language moves, right? That's the nature of any language in the history of the ever, is it moves and it changes and it adjusts over time, and that's fine. No. There it is. Oh yeah, there's also Castle of Illusion and Mickey's Magical Adventure, which I can't remember the name of. The name? The name of... I haven't seen Grape. Jesus. I will admit, I don't like that word either. but I just don't say it. I don't come up with something else. Oh, I guarantee people can come up with worse, Savicom. Yeah, homeless people. That's another one I've seen people trying to whitewash a little bit. It's like, guys, don't. No, don't do that. Homelessness is not cool. Yeah, unhoused. No. Just gonna nope on that one. Unrelated, that was a great level. Data crack. No, that was a great level. That was a great level. Let's try 2B. Or not. I'm sorry, that was the dumbest joke I said today. But I'm not sorry about it at all. Anyways. Actually, yeah, Savicom. My own sister has talked to me about that. Okay. No. No! No! It's okay. There's less of these than there were in returns. And we have health. Freaking finally. Look at the cheese. Look at the cheese. I don't have time to look at the background. Please, someone enjoy the background of this stage. There's so much there. Do you notice those are piles of cheese? Those aren't rocks. Oh, that's clever. Did you see that? One peek of where the N is, and then the light moved away from it, so you had to spot it and then memorize its location. That's actually good, though. That's clever. So, anybody want to guess at how large that cheese wheel is? Like, really think about it for a second. We're like 7 feet tall, and we're a dot up there. Ugh. I got a word for it, Mr. Red. Abused. Which is a dirty, ugly word for a reason. Great level. Can't believe it. We're giving a plus to a rocket level. Can you believe that? My favorite Pokemon game? Sword and Shield at the moment. Arceus is its only real contender. Or Arceus, I forget which one's higher. They're both pretty high up there. I know, right, Slavicom? I have said this for literal years, but it's actually gotten worse. I am so glad I'm not reliant on sponsors or ad revenue. I mean, technically, you guys are my sponsors. You're my patrons, literally. But I am so grateful to not have to play that game, because it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I thought it was bad years ago when I refused to partake in that. I feel so bad for people who are still on the YouTube treadmill right now. Ooh, this is a good song. Yes, I realize basically every song in this game is a good song. Shut up. No, I think I would believe it's Sonic. Getting demonetized on YouTube is for a channel where that's your job is basically a death sentence. It's actually, if I could be blunt for a second, a lot more insidious than a lot of people, I think, realize. If you say something bad at your job, right, then you might get fired. And that sucks, but then you'll go find another job. But if you get demonetized, your job's still there, but you may or may not notice that you suddenly aren't getting views and you suddenly aren't getting sponsorships. Now, you will notice, of course you will, at some point in time. But the point is, imagine if you went to your 9 to 5, and then 2 weeks later, after putting in 2 weeks of solid work, your next paycheck, so like 4 weeks later, your next paycheck is just suddenly less. Some of you probably don't even know this. My channel, for example, is absolutely buried in YouTube. Both of my channels are absolutely buried. I pretty much straight up rely on word of mouth and, you know, luck to get new viewers. Every now and again, someone's looking up something about a specific game, and I cover such a huge variety of games that every now and again someone is like, oh, hey, who's this dude? Yeah, exactly like that, Mook. That's pretty much exactly my business model, is rolling the dice and praying. I'm not much of a gambling man, but let me tell you, if not for you guys supporting me directly, I wouldn't have a job right now. Oh, speaking of, thank you for being part of the show, Savakam. I know we disagree on quite a few things. I'm always glad you're here. Whatever that counts. Splinter Cell Double Agent. AC Knight. A lot of interest in that lately. And Super Mario Mon. But yeah, Mr. Red is correct. Indeed, I actually do know the objective, absolute way in which I could increase my overall viewership and have the chance of getting new patrons, new people who are actually interested enough in the show and enjoy the show enough to to fund me. And the answer is to either hire an editor or just start taking time out of my life to do my own edits and just start putting together edits on YouTube. That is the solution. It is what an inordinate quantity of video game YouTubers do, is they stream and then they hire an editor to put it up on YouTube. I don't think I have the hair for Sephiroth. I've been pushing out the shorts whenever I remember to. It's kind of a pain to do it, which is why it doesn't happen with as much regularity as it probably should. But... listen, all I need to do is win the lottery, and then I can start making more money. Wait. That's literally not a joke. So, you like creative levels, right? I like creative levels. If you were paying attention, these were actually in the background of the previous part of the stage. And, remember I mentioned that visual continuity thing? We've been getting closer and closer to that giant owl mountain in the background this entire time. We started off pretty much right off at the shores with those little townships. When we got further up, we got closer to the sawmill and to the cheese mines. Yes, they're literally cheese mines. What do you want from me? And now we're climbing up the mountain. Sorry. By the way, since I haven't said this out loud, the current goal is to be really, really loose with the schedule, because my living situation is so morphic right now. I have no idea where I'm going to be in a week, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I'll be here next week. Past that, it gets vaguer, right? I could be here a month. I could be here 5 months. I could be here a year. I don't know. So I'm going to be nice and vague with the schedule. However, there is one thing I'm going to commit to. Something I really would like to do is to put in a dark. I have a lot of off-camera work I need to do on the website to get that up to code. I have a lot of stuff I want to add. And I promised a friend of mine, who is a creative type, that I would put effort into being creative if they kept being creative. Like, that's the what do you call it? Dual promise or something like that? Like, you swear to do this, I'll swear to do this, kind of a thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? A pact. I like that. It's not the word I was going for, but that is a great word for it. Which means I need to finally sit down and actually continue the rewrites. Something I will freely admit I've been hesitant to do because of discouragement, I think is the word I'm going to use there. Straight as I've come. Not like that. Not like that. Okay. I think we are going to finish World 2. Screw it. We're right here. I give up my hair. Oh my god. Some say I gave up my sanity. Whoops, I didn't mean to skip like 1 second of cutscene. I was just getting ready to jump. Is this... It was the only way to overcome. Bargain struck. I am thou. Thou art... Oh, you're dead. Oh, is this... Oh, I love this stage. I love this stage. Okay, okay. I'm gonna die a lot, so forgive me. But... So. I did that on purpose. Two things. First of all, that's what's expected of us. Second of all, did you notice the barrel? This is great level design. Mandating that they fail and screw up here would arguably be unfair. Remember, this game is difficult. It is not unfair. So you get one gimme of, hang on, try again. You need to hit the bells. And you notice while you're sitting in the barrel, the bells are right up there. They're one of the only things in shot. Dragging your eye to it, dragging your attention to it. So, round 2. And now we know what to do. Great level design. And that first one was actually pretty simple, too. It was just a quick and simple, hey, here's what is expected of you during these sequences. Whoa. Listen, I've heard good things about Owl House. Also, you've missed me gushing about this game for about 3 hours, Jill Pangolin. But hi. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's on me. That's on me. I hope your day has been going well. Mine has. I've been playing Tropical Freeze. I feel bad for this penguin, who's just, you know, dead now. Ahem. So, take 2. A lot more tight with the timing now. No second chances. But you'll notice it is still loose with the hitbox on it. And good checkpoints. God, I love this game so freaking much. So now we've got temporary platforms and enemy obstacles that you can bounce off of. So the enemies become part of the platforming. Okay, now tighter timing on that. Yeah, I commented on that earlier too, Chill Penguin. Interesting, Jathan. One of my only regrets about how awesome this game is it's so wonderfully hard, I usually can't sit back and just enjoy the background, or else that will happen. Well, you noticed it was the rats and the pigs down below, and while that's not necessarily indicative, I kind of feel like that's a deliberate bit of storytelling there, right? The lesser people. God, I hope not, Savicom. Although, if we ever play Donkey Kong Bonanza, apparently we're going to need a monkey butt counter. Because I have been told that Donkey is in the rear with the gear. And yes, I find that horrifying. Okay, back to paying attention. I love these stages so much. Oh, that's mean. Okay. But I'm meaner. It's a toggle, Chill Pangolin, but yes. I put it under quality of life changes. Because it is. It is a quality of life change. I ain't complaining. I've already done it the hard way. Me and Gary did this on the Wii U. Well, that actually is probably death. Nope. Booyaka. No, you're fine, Chill Penguin. Sorry. Please, feel free to gush. Gush about this amazing, amazing game of amazing. Gush. Hell, I should thank you. You're the one who's making it so I could play this frickin' game. And there's 2K. Super Mario Bros. 3 is better. That's the only response I have to that. That's valid, Ross. Actually, real question, have you played Tropical Freeze? Okay. And you didn't like it, wow. Or did you like it less? Excuse me, I shouldn't be presumptive. Actually, I agree with you, Chill Penguin, funnily enough. Okay, let's go try 2K first. I might regret this decision. Bopopolis. Bopopolis? Bopopolis? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I remember the stage. I will say one other thing. This game would not exist without Mario 3. I mean, literally. Literally. Like, there's no way, right? Now, you can say that about a lot of games, but this goes back to that whole historically significant thing, right? Mario 3 kind of invented the modern platformer, and we're still kind of chasing it years later. Like, platformers go back a long way. In fact, most of the arcade games we were talking about earlier were platformers, because it's one of the easiest things to program. But really, Mario 3 sat down and said, this is what a platformer is. Kit, level design, variety, visuals, concepts of escalation. Yeah, 3 is the platformer codifier in my mind. This is death. Yeah, I was way too slow. I have to go immediately. Mid-mission check. It's funny. Mario 1 came up with mid-mission checkpoints. That boggles my mind. I'm not trying to bash Mario 3. I'm just shocked that Mario 1 has mid-mission checkpoints. Like, I never really think about that, but it's true. Sorry, continuing. Yeah, Mario 3 might have been the first game that pushed into great territory. Because the Mega Mans that really nailed it came after Mario 3. By the way, did you notice I am live capped? That's not me bragging, that's just me talking about the level design. This is awful. Wow. I'm gonna have to go for that jump. That's the only way. Oh, this stage is insane, Mr. Ed. If my many deaths haven't really conveyed that. So, okay. I actually do have a theory. I need to verify this to some extent, but I think the problem in Mario 3 is not that the stages are too short. If you remember, I sat down and did a per pixel comparison, like actually using the art of the time. No, I'm gonna have to go for it. That's irritating. That's an irritating jump. But you know what I can do in Tropical Freeze? Check it out. I can use items mid-mission in Tropical Freeze. Because this is a good game. So let's bring Dixie in here. Thank you. Anyways. But if you compare Mario 1 to Mario 3's levels, Mario 1's levels are not longer or shorter. So I don't think that's it. I think Mario 3 was pushing the limits of how much active information the NES could hold at any given point in time so hard that they literally could not figure out a way to cram mid-mission checkpoints into the game. You know what I mean? Like, just straight up would not fit. Because, so for those who don't know where the NES is programmed in assembly, which is kind of insane to begin with, but the NES hardware is also severely limited with what it could do. I'm honestly bonkered the stuff they pulled off on the NES, when you know anything about NES programming. Just to name one interesting little example, the NES could not multiply in code. You could not do 5 times 3. If you wanted 5 times 3, you would have to do 5 plus 5 plus 5. Now that sounds like a minor thing, but I bring it up because mid-mission checkpoints might have taken up a decent amount of room. Literal space on the register in order to be like, hey, okay, hang on. God damn it. Yes, it does, Ross. And yeah, it makes the code... Exactly, it means every line of code has to be a little bit longer than it otherwise would be. Okay. I'm slowly getting worse here. Hang on, hang on. It's the hunger. I'm really, really hungry. I'm not quite at the shakes level. That's a lie. I'm actually kind of shaking. But I got this. I will say this. I haven't felt the stage is unfair so far. Which is better, already better than the frickin' K levels back in 1. Best to say returns. It does not want to bounce. It does not want to bounce. I mean, could you imagine playing Metroid plus saving? That would be insane. Anybody who does that is truly a madman. How did I ever get any of these puzzle pieces? He asked redundantly. I know exactly how I did it. I'd go there, sacrifice a life to get it, and then move on. Every one of those is an input, by the way, if it's not obvious. Ooh, including that. Nope. No. No, that's so bull! No, come on, I was right there. I'm right there. I was doing good. Something I don't like about these games, both of them have the same problem, is when you get hit, you freeze in place for a second. The world keeps moving around you, which can lead to dominoing because you can't really do anything after you've been hit. That's exactly what happened to me. Is I just died. Well, everyone in chat's just making fun of me. Jeez, Lord, why do you suck so bad? God. Ugh. Streamer, get good. My momentum was all wrong on that. Get good. You think that level's hard? Wait until you see Banana Rango. Siri, how do I delete all of Twitter? I'm going to do this. This is my life now. I will not eat dinner. It's right there. It's very cold. I will not eat dinner. I will not take a break. I will not drink water. I will not rest. I will not sleep. until I've killed this stupid thing. I also have a weird theory that the level's on a universal timer. I'm going to check that. So, universal timers are when moving objects are moving in the background, starting from the beginning of the level. And I am wrong. That was not a universal timer. So that means it's a dependent timer, or whatever that's actually probably called. A dependent timer, or whatever it's actually called, is when the elements of the level start moving as soon as they load, which is usually just a little bit to the right of the screen, just a little bit off where you see them for the first time. What that means is a lot of the timing is dependent on you and how fast you move through a specific section. Now, I actually prefer that. It means the player has a lot more control, for lack of a better way to put that, in what happens and when. This is insane. It's not even done yet. Why isn't this level over? Why is this level still going? Why are you doing this to me, game? Do you hate me? Did I hurt you in a previous life? Does that exist? Is that a thing? Are you the devil? Was my mother right all along? Sorry, was that G-Juice? I couldn't hear you over having to redo the entire stage from the beginning. Because I couldn't tell where to jump. I was just guessing. I was rooting to get that too, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do, so I was just like... Sometimes you do this thing where you're just kind of hovering, and what I needed to do, rather than hover, rather than just kind of do controlled tight jumps, I needed to be lunging. I needed to go as far as I possibly could to the right in order to make that jump, but I didn't know the jump was there. I didn't know the jump was coming. Oh my god, it's a Sonic level! I'm kidding, Chill Penguin. Don't do that. Don't take it seriously. I'm looking forward to the Sonic block. I really am. I even talked about it at the beginning of the VOD. You can check the VOD if you don't believe me. But I noticed this level seems to reward lunging more than caution. There's only one section where I really want to be cautious, and I'll even point it out when I get there. If I get there, which I won't, of course. It's not here. This you want to lunge. Look at that. That's actually closer than it looks. This is the caution moment. Wait, and then go. Right there. And then lunge, lunge. Oh god, no. I was holding right. I didn't mean to. I literally was clenching. I was clenching. And that meant my thumb was on the right. I'm so looking forward to crushing Echo like a bug. I'm going to destroy it like a bug. I'm gonna stomp it in, and I'm just gonna like... It's like, you know, oh god, what are those channels called? There's some on Reddit, there's some on YouTube where it's like surprisingly satisfying, right? It's gonna be like one of those where you just find a big old thing of bubble wrap and you just start crushing it. Like grinding crackers in your hands, you know? Or absolutely just... I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything else. Power washing something, you know? That's gonna be me and Echo. I'm just gonna be like, hi Echo, die, 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 die! As a fresh reminder, every single one of those is an input. None of this is free. Which I only point out because it probably looks easy, and I want to stress that every single thing I'm doing is an input. Anybody who calls this easy can suck a lemon. Now you can call it fair, but you can't call it easy. Wait. By the way, the game also punishes you for waiting too long in several sections. Because, you know, temporary platforms. Everything is a temporary platform in this stage if you're paying attention. Wait. Now we go. Okay, now I gotta get ready to lunge. It's gonna be this section here. Caution, 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 caution. Lunge. Don't know where I'm going. I'm literally shaking. I'm literally shaking. Oh my god. I don't know where to go. I don't know what's next. I don't know what's happening. Oh my god! That was a good stage, too. Agreed, Chill Penguin. There's much better cadence, much better rhythm to Tropical Freeze than there was in Returns. Alright, let's wrap this sucker up. This is actually a pretty hard boss by memory, so naturally I'm going to die over and over and over here. Right after I have a pickle. So, Alboss. I do not Chill Penguin. Ooh, banana. No. Look at this guy. I am not right here. Right here. But thank you for asking. Oh man, Rex, please watch the last like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, please. I'm begging you. I'm actually proud of that. Round 2. Fight! Just off. Oh well. I suck. Come in peace to kill you. So just like lay down. This will go by a lot quicker. One thing I like about this game a lot is the bosses have personality to them, you know? It's not much, but again, there's kind of like an implied characterization there, you know? Round 3. Fight. That would be 2K Games, Magister. And yes, I did say that earlier. Oh, it's great, Mr. Ed. I love it. Like, you think it's good now. Ho, ho, ho. My favorite visual storytelling stage is probably going to be tomorrow. I really hope you're there to see it, because it's fantastic. Some people make fun of it, and me, for loving it. For those of you who know, it's the Juice World. Yeah, this is going to be another boss positive. Good bosses, can you believe it? Good bosses in a Donkey Kong game? We need to conspire to get Sonic 3 into Mr. Ed's hands, so he can experience good games. We can do this. I believe. I believe it's possible. Yeah, unironically, this is actually one of my favorite bosses in this game. I'd say probably my second favorite. After a boss we haven't fought yet. Hi, boy. Nice, Rex. Perfect. Perfect, Mr. Red. Now we're taking it away from you. That's a tough one, Ross. Metroid, Mario, Zelda all have banger boss battles. Oh, I'm looking forward to World 3. Tomorrow. I think I've streamed enough today. I'm gonna go eat dinner.